stop sharing, don't stop laughing, don't stop caring. As long as you've got a voice, don't ever stop.
Oh yeah, don't ever stop. Good morning, Greenwood. How you doing this morning? I'm doing pretty good. Penny's doing good, so that's good. We're all just grooving here. I gotta tell you, she's becoming quite a force to reckon with. I don't know. I may have made a mistake. I got Penny with the idea. This is the Penny Diary. I got Penny with the idea that I wanted to have a puppy that if I had a puppy and as I raised her, if I made any mistakes, then I could only blame myself. Guess what? I've made lots of mistakes. Maybe I should have gotten an older dog so I could have blamed it on somebody else. Anyways, you know how those things go, don't you? But anyways, she seems like she's quite a bit different than the puppy I brought home. She is very assertive. I don't know where she gets that from. She's very willing to test the boundaries. I don't know where she gets that from. And she's very willing to talk back. I have no idea where she gets that from. But it does seem to be happening on a regular basis. The only thing I know, oh my gosh, my hair. The only thing I know is that she loves crackers. And I don't know where she gets that either. Ritz crackers with a hint of salt. Not salted, not unsalted, with a hint of salt. Yes, that is Penny's go-to, quote, high-value treat. A couple of times she has escaped. I'm sure I've told you some of these stories. And the first few times, I was running all the way up the driveway. It was good exercise, chasing after her and everything. She thought it was so great. Now I run inside the building, pick up a pack of Ritz crackers, come flying out the other door, and stand out there and say, Penny, want a cracker? Not Polly. Penny, want a cracker? And guess what? She comes running. So at least I do have a way to get her back when she takes on that independent streak. But just a few of my musings about Princess Penny. I did announce during the pre-show, this is the show before we go live on the air, that we've got a very special guest this afternoon. Guest. I want to make sure that you you can't hear me on the radio. What did I do this morning? Oh my God. All right, I've been giving you the Penny Diaries here this morning, and you couldn't hear it. Well, we've been live on Facebook. I guess you could hear that, but I didn't do my check. Are we live on the radio? Anyways, during the pre-show, I did give a little... Maybe you didn't hear that either. Who knows? Anyways, I'm here now, and I have a very special announcement for this morning's show. Actually, for this afternoon show. I am thrilled to have been approached by members of county council wanting to come on the radio to have a conversation about how things work, how the budget, this is basically going to be a budget discussion, how things come together, and they wanted to come on and discuss it. And so we're going to have two members of county council that had approached me about coming on, and we were able to make it work. So this afternoon at 5 p.m., yes, we are going to be having Councilwoman Kathy Miller, and we are going to have Councilman Mark Allison. So I think you'll want to be tuned for this show because it'll be on the radio, it'll be on Facebook Live, if I can remember to turn all the buttons on, and you're going to want to hear what they have to say. It's going to be educational. It will be some reasons maybe why they vote the way they do, and it's important for you because these two are two of the council people on on our county council. So this is going to happen today at 5:05. I hope you will tune in to hear all about it, to watch about it. We'll be Facebook Live at WCRS 98.5 FM /1450 AM. We'll also be live on the radio. Thank you so much for giving me that a heads up that I wasn't on. That is so embarrassing when I do that. You know, I come in here, I think I flip all the switches. So, bottom line, we are live everywhere, radio and on Facebook Live. Good morning and welcome, and I certainly hope you will be tuned in at 5 o'clock. If for some reason you can't, of course, it will be available right after the show on Facebook Live as a podcast. You'll be able to go back and watch and or listen. Understand a lot of people are liking to listen to it while they're doing other things, so that's great too. We have made some upgrades in the studio, so you might want to peep in and just see what we have going on with the upgrades. But you can't see that till this afternoon because it all has to do with the guest side. So you just would see me. But anyways, moving on here. If I wasn't on the radio, which I thought I was, but I don't know, you might have missed my comments this morning about the Toros, Lakeland's Toros that are heading out. Some are leaving, I know, today. Some are leaving tomorrow to be down in Plano, Texas for the Lakeland's Toros Soccer Club is sending total over their whole existence. I guess they've sent 6 teams. This year, 3 teams are going. This is huge. Let's see. The 2009, 2010, and the 2011, 2012 girls teams, as well as the 2006, 2007 boys teams, will head to Plano, Texas in hopes of capturing the regional tournament championship. That is huge. That is huge for our group. And to have it only have 3 teams this year, only 3 teams in the past have gone. I just wanted to mention that because I think it's terrific, and I think these kids are playing their hearts out. They've practiced oodles and oodles. There's so much commitment, and there's so much commitment on the parents for the kids to do this. So kudos to all involved for making these happen, and however they do, I think the experience will be huge for them. So that's the Greenwood, the Lakeland's Toros Soccer Club. By the way, the Lakeland's the Toros group over there, you know, they practice over there in the field. I don't remember. It's right there in uptown Greenwood, right across from the Index Journal, right in there where they have a field. They've got some upgrades that are going to be happening there, and I think with the recognition that they're getting out there, this is, well, I think it's overdue, but I think it's well-deserved that they are going to have this as an area when other teams come to Greenwood. You know, we always talk about tourism and putting heads in beds and what effect it has. The Toros is one of those one of those groups that is constantly out there bringing people into Greenwood, and they're, of course, buying food and enjoying Greenwood and seeing all that Greenwood has. So I'm glad to see that number one, that they have succeeded in being able to go to Plano. By the way, if any one of these 3 teams, I don't think all 3, but let's just say if just one of those 3 teams wins, they would be headed to Florida in just 2 weeks. So I know that if they do this, they certainly could use Greenwood's support in getting them some funding and everything to go there. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Right now, I think it's important they just go have a focused good time and be safe out there. This is kind of a hard weekend to be going somewhere with all the what are we going to have? The No Kings marches and events going on across the country. They're going to be having President Trump is celebrating the 250 years of the military, and also celebrating his birthday, and also celebrating Flag Day on Saturday, and with a big military parade in Washington, D.C. A lot of people are not happy about that, but I think it is terrific. We need to celebrate the good things in life, and this will be one of those things that is the good things, regardless of whether you like Trump or not. Regardless of whether you like Trump or not, celebrating our military, celebrating Flag Day, those are important things to celebrate. So it is his birthday. A lot of people are very, very happy with what he has done. If you're not happy with it, well, okay. You can peacefully protest, and that is the key word. I certainly hope across our country that they peacefully protest if that is your right and that is your feeling. I hope none of these things get out of hand. What we've seen in Los Angeles has been unbelievable. So I, for one, hope that it is a peaceful weekend. I hope the weather cooperates wherever the girls and guys that are going to Plano, Texas. I hope the weather is good. So however it all works out, I hope that we can come together and celebrate the good things in life. There are so many things that are hard. I hope we can celebrate the good things. Anyways, moving on. Yesterday afternoon, I did have what I considered a pretty darn good interview with Attorney General Alan Wilson and with our local solicitor, David Stumbo. We talked about a wide variety of things. Of course, you can go back and watch/listen to it on WCRS 98.5 FM, 1450 AM. Please like it and share it. Like it and share it. We are doing tremendous with getting the word out about little old Greenwood through WCRS radio. So if you'll do that, I would really appreciate it, and it really helps. I had wanted to play one clip from the Alan Wilson. No, he didn't announce he was running for governor. I tried to get that out of him, and then I thought I could get a twofer. I could have gotten Alan Wilson announcing he was running for governor, and then David Stumbo could say he's going to run for solicitor, for states, for attorney general. But that didn't happen on either case, so I just have to plug on and know that everybody's talking about it, but the announcements have not been made. All right, I wanted to play a clip from yesterday's interview with Alan Wilson because it was, well, it actually kind of made me happy. I'll just say it. It was about... Yes, here we go. It was about the lawsuit that has been filed for the pay raise that the legislators gave themselves. You may remember, I've talked about it many times, $18,000 pay raise, which is, quote, I'm using air quotes, in-district expense. But it is something that... I don't know. That really bugs me. I'm just going to tell you. It really bugs me that they did this. Now, we've talked about those that have not taken it. We found out yesterday this lawsuit. So I thought, well, I'm going to ask Alan Wilson his opinion on it. So here is his answer to it. And as he said, he qualifies it in the beginning. He hasn't totally studied up on it. But take a listen and see what your opinion is. Here we go. Take it away. But this lawsuit that has been filed on behalf of the legislature or actually I think it's Harpootlian is representing about the state increase in pay for the legislature. Do you have any opinion on that?
I have not read the full brief yet on it. I'm aware of it. I got a call from the senator who was going to file it. He gave me a heads up. I'm not a party to the lawsuit.
Right.
I will tell you as a member of policy, it is my personal belief that, if these in-district expenses are considered income, and I don't really know how they work, but if they are considered income, then they should not go in effect until everyone stands for re-election. The way it works is that a legislature cannot give itself a pay raise, but a legislature can pass a law that gives a future legislature a pay raise. And until you go through that election cycle, you're in the same legislature. So that is probably what is at the heart of this lawsuit. If you elect me as a member of the General Assembly, I'm not going to ever vote for myself to have a pay raise until I have to go stand before you at the ballot box again. And so that's the point of that law. And so that is what is being challenged right now.
I see. Well, I sure appreciate you clarifying that. That one just has jacked my jaws, and I've talked about it a lot here on the radio, so I thought I might get an opinion from you, and I think it is something
and
that
can I say one thing? Can I say one thing
Sure.
about that? There should be a process by which people get pay raises, because you can't stay in $1990 forever. Inflation goes on. Imagine if we all made the same salary we did in 1990. But you got to do it the right way. And if the General Assembly does merit a pay increase, it needs to be done in a constitutional and lawful way. And the people need to have complete and total transparency. So my comments aren't to the merits of the pay raise, because I don't know. I haven't studied the issue. My comments are strictly to, did they follow the law? And if they didn't, then the pay raise should not go into effect.
Okay. I understand. And you said $1990. I said, actually, Alan, I make less now than I did in 1990, but who's counting, right?
Oh, bless your heart.
I know. Bless my heart. Anyways, Alan Wilson, would you like to say something in closing before I let you off the air with me here today?
I really appreciate you for being a voice in your community and giving me a platform to talk to your listeners and your viewers about what's going on in the state. And I will be coming to your community a lot in the weeks and months to come. And I want to be accessible. So I look forward to coming back on your show frequently and often to be held accountable, which you need to hold my feet to the fire now.
I do that.
And ask me tough questions.
I will. And I just want to say, so therefore, would you like to make an announcement? I mean, I'm just asking, since you said you'd be here frequently, would you like to make an announcement?
I am formally announcing today that I plan to come on your show a lot over the next year.
Oh, darn it. Well, I got David Stumbo that just walked in the door, so I thought I might just see if you were going to announce and maybe I could get a double here. Who knows?
Well, you give Solicitor Stumbo a big hug for me. He and I used to prosecute cases 150 years ago when we were baby prosecutors. I'm sure he'll talk about that.
Absolutely. Thanks so much, Alan, for coming on. I appreciate you very much. I know you've got a busy schedule, and we'll look forward to having you in studio sometime as well as on the telephone. Thanks so much.
God bless. Bye-bye.
All right. That is South Carolina Attorney General Alan Wilson, has been on the air with us. There you go. That was part of the interview. As you can see, that was near the end. We talked about a lot of different aspects of it. It was a very interesting interview, and then followed that up with Solicitor David Stumbo. I hope you get a chance to go back and watch it. And if you watch it, listen to it, however, like and share it. It really means the world to me, because it shows that we're getting out there and more people are finding out about WCRS. Plus, you're spreading news that is important to our community out there. Okay, so that was one topic that I wanted to cover today, and I also wanted to talk about this. I found this very interesting. June 11th. I always like to see what day it is out there, as far, not what day it is, but what popular item is on the National Registry. And today is National Corn on the Cob Day. It's Making Life Beautiful Day. And it's also National German Chocolate Cake Day. But National Making Life Beautiful today, I thought was rather lovely. National Making Life Beautiful Today declares a celebration to those who make life beautiful. Whether you're creating beauty by building relationships or helping others achieve personal success, your actions create a ripple effect. You are making life beautiful, not just for yourself, but for those around you. Yes, that is a lovely thing to celebrate. So I wanted to make sure we celebrated that. Also, tomorrow, let's see, what else did I have? I had something else in there that I thought was very interesting. Where is it? Okay, here you go. Since we're getting ready to celebrate 250 years of the United States of America, in 1776, on June 11th, Thomas Jefferson, John Adams, Benjamin Franklin, Roger Sherman, and Robert R. Livingston Oh, that's right. It's 10 o'clock in the city of Greenwood. That's right, 10 o'clock, and you are listening to WCRS Radio. Again, Thomas Jefferson, John Adams, Benjamin Franklin, Roger Sherman, and Robert R. Livingston are appointed to the Committee of Five to draft the Declaration of Independence. How about that? And that was on June 11th, 1776. One other thing that I thought I would... In 1963, on July 11th, President Kennedy addresses Americans proposing the Civil Rights Act of 1964 to end segregation. That was pretty darn huge also. And there was one other that I thought was rather interesting. 1947, on June 11th, sugar rationing finally ends in the U.S. How about that? Those were all things that happened on June 11th. So tomorrow, National Peanut Butter Cookie Day. So if anybody wants to make peanut butter cookies in honor of that, tomorrow's the day to do it. National Peanut Butter Cookie Day. Who doesn't like a good peanut butter cookie? There you go. All right, that's a couple of things that I wanted to put out there. So we've talked about Alan Wilson, about what's on that lawsuit. We don't know when that's going to happen. I don't think that is supposed to happen before July 1st, before it is going directly to our South Carolina Supreme Court. So that means that we should have a decision in the next 2 weeks on how they will proceed on that. 37 legislators have turned down the raise. I don't see how you cannot call it a raise, even though, quote, they're calling it in-district expense. They have to pay taxes on it, number one. There is no guidelines as to what they can spend the money on. If they want to spend it on themselves, they sure can. If they want to spend it on doing things in their district, they can. And the other thing is they can also give it away, as one representative was doing. Now, I don't have any problem with him giving away the money, and so he's saying he's not taking it. But technically, he is taking it to give to a charity. And he still will be paying income on, have to pay income taxes on that, have to list it as income. And for those that are in the legislature for any length of time, they also will contribute to their pension. Sounds like income to me, but then again, I'm not a lawyer. So anyways, that's it. All right, we've talked a little bit about some of the things out there in the news. I did see a real quick headline that Elon Musk put out a tweet. Is that right? Last about 3 o'clock this morning. I should have gotten it. I mean, I was up. But that he put out a tweet saying that some of the things he said last week may have been he didn't say a bridge too far, but a little bit too far. I don't have the exact quote. and he should not have put that out there. Now, will that make any effect with Trump? I don't know. Trump can be pretty harsh, but then when he comes around to thinking about things, he can definitely change. So is this the first step towards reunification of the Trump-Musk combo? I don't know, but that's pretty big breaking news, isn't it? Pretty big breaking news. All right, if you just tuned in, if you haven't heard, this afternoon at 5 o'clock, I was approached by two members of county council to come on the show and talk about budget issues, their feelings about it, etc. They approached me. We had to do some finagling to make it work, but I was able to do it. So this afternoon, Councilwoman Kathy Miller will be joining us, as well Councilman Mark Allison. If you were watching was it last week? Yeah, I think it was last week's county council meeting, you saw that there were some differences of opinion, and Kathy and Mark want to come on and talk about why they feel, what is the budget process, what about the transparency of things. This is what they want to talk about. So I think this is going to be a fascinating interview this afternoon. You don't want to miss that. So please come sit down and listen on this afternoon at 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock. I'm Ann Eller, right here with you this morning. Yeah, stay tuned. You have to stay tuned to find out. That was called a good tease, I think. I'm not very good at teasing stuff. I just like to go ahead and say it. But I had to say stay tuned. So as one of the comments we got here this morning, stay tuned. So here's the deal. This is going to be a really big, impactful interview. I'm glad to see members of County Council wanting to come on the radio, on Facebook Live with me and discuss some of these issues. And they picked a very good format to do this, with over 18,000 views in the last month on our Facebook Lives. Now, that doesn't even count who's listening on the radio. This is just the metrics that we get from Facebook Live. Said that in the last 28 days, we've had over 18,000 views. And that is pretty darn huge, is what I'm being told. It's so huge that I can earn stars. I don't even know what it is, but I can earn a star and get paid a penny. A penny for your thoughts. There you go, right here on WCRS. Who knew when I named Princess Penny that I could use that in a promo? I haven't figured out how to use it, but a penny for your thoughts, and you can give me a little star. There you go. What do you think about that? I think that's pretty cool. All right, so what else is going on of big import here? Let's see. I had something else I wanted to talk about, but now I can't remember what it was. I got so much on my brain. It's just wide open all the time. I don't know how to keep up with everything. I happened to talk to Alan Wilson yesterday. I said, Al, and this is before we went on the air. I said, Alan, it's just there's so much going on every day. I have a hard time keeping up. And he goes, I have a good staff. And I said, well, I don't. So anyways, if you feel that, oh my God, what's going to happen next? I feel the pain and I also understand. Let's see, what else did I have that I wanted to, I had a couple other things I maybe wanted to get in here. I got a lot of work to do to be ready for this afternoon. Do want to, looks like the feud between Biles, Simone Biles and Riley Gaines has turned. Didn't Simone apologized? Such as the case is, she apologized. See, people can come to their senses after they've gotten their media moment of fame, and that's helpful. That is helpful for sure. Other things that I wanted to talk about here this morning. This could be an interesting story. It says that a popular prescription drug already in millions of medicines cabinets could be the key to unlocking a longer life for women. New research published in the Journal of Gerontology, Medical Sciences found that those taking this widely used diabetes drug had a great shot of making it to the big 90. That's right. It's not Ozempic. It's called metformin, and almost 20 million Americans are estimated to be taking it to manage their type 2 diabetes. Like other diabetes drugs, this decades-old, dirt-cheap medication works by decreasing the amount of glucose the body absorbs from food and improves its response to insulin. So also used to treat polycystic ovary syndrome, metformin has been hailed as a wonder drug due to its other health benefits, including improving fertility in women. Okay, aiding in weight management and even reducing the risk of heart disease and certain cancers. The new study said it cites some promising research indicating it may also have anti-aging effects. Researchers analyzed the data of 438, that's a pretty small study, just FYI, post-menopausal women, half of whom were on metformin, so that was like 217, 218, 214. The other half whom took another diabetes called something else. All right. They found that those on the metformin group had a 30% higher chance of making it to 90 when compared to the sulfonylurea group. The study has a few limitations, the most notable of which that it had no control group, meaning none of the participants weren't on diabetes medication. However, one of the strengths was a follow-up period of 14 to 15 years, which is much longer than the average randomized controlled trial. So, all told, the new study adds an increasing body of research on the idea that biological aging is malleable and that slowing biological aging may delay or prevent the onset of multiple age-related diseases and disability. So how about that? Those taking metformin may be able to live longer. Yes, that's true. Sometimes the question is, how long do you want to live? Do you ever think about that? Do you ever think, well, I don't know how much longer I'm going to be here. I better be making some plans. Or, I'm not even thinking about when I might check out of this world. Do you ever think about that? I actually do, and I think part of that is what I went through with Jeff. And, if I was totally honest, I think that it was more traumatic than I realized. And I'm only saying that because some of the things that I'm experiencing now, I'm like, wow, I didn't even think about that. So I would just be curious, 864-229-7984. I know some people are able to go through and lickety-split, get rid of everything, be done with it, have the estate all closed out, boom, bam, they're done. And then there are other people that don't. And, I don't know where I fall. I mean, some people would say, Ann, you got a lot of stuff. I said, I know. But I just wonder if you have any feelings about how you have processed the death of somebody close to you. We see it on Facebook all the time, people saying there's not a day that goes by that I don't miss you and all these type of things. And then some people are able to just turn the page and maybe spend immediately after somebody dies having a period of grief. But I do think it is everybody grieves through and goes through the process differently. I think we all end up at the same place, meaning we have to put it in its place. We have to understand that life moves on. But it is interesting as we get older, What do you think about? Do you think, oh my God, I've got to go ahead and get this done. I've got to go ahead and get this done. And well, what's the sense of waiting? I might as well go ahead and give this to this one or this type of thing. It's interesting time to be at different parts of your life. If you had told me at 25, if I'd been thinking about what I'm going to do with this, that, or the other, or how I'm going to deal with that, or how I'll take care of things, I would have said, nah, I don't think so. But as you age, and we all age differently, we all look at things differently, we all miss things differently. How do you actually feel as you're getting older? How do you feel about realizing that, when you're young, you think you're going to live forever, right? Actually, you'll find this very interesting, I think. I always said I wanted to die at 40. Well, I went way past that. And somebody would say, why did you want to die at 40? And I said, because I wanted to be a good-looking corpse. Well, now I realize I'm just going to be incinerated. It's not going to matter anyway. So I worry about that. But that is actually, I think when I was in my 20s, I said, yeah, I'm going to be out. And I was pretty crazy and pretty wild in my 20s. I'm sure you can't imagine that. So, yeah, that's what I said. I was going to die by 40. I would be gone. And here I am, much older and still hanging on this world and still trying to make a difference in this world. But I do think that we all approach things so much differently, and we do need to have some grace and compassion for those that go through it so much differently. As I said, there are those maybe that never get over the loss of someone, and there are those that are able to turn the page, clean things up, get things out, boom, bam, and move on. And then there are those that take a little longer, and then there are some that never make that adjustment. So I just wanted to say that if you're struggling, you're struggling not alone. You're struggling to put it all in its place. But it is something you do need to eventually put in its place. So I'm Ann Eller right here with you this morning. Again, my big announcement for today is what, Ann? 2 members of County Council approached me about coming on WCRS radio, and we are going to make that work this afternoon at 5 o'clock. Kathy Miller, Councilwoman Kathy Miller, will be joining us, as will Mark Allison. They're going to be in studio the whole hour. They want to talk about the budget, why they voted the way they did on the budget, what things they think could be improved, but they want you more than anything else to understand the budget process. I think this will be a fascinating conversation. I hope you will join us at 5 o'clock today, right here on WCRS Radio. I am going to post the link for that in just a little bit, so we'll have that out there. If you see it, like it, share it, I would appreciate it. I think a lot of people in Greenwood County need to understand this, because so many times we do not know, we do not understand why things are done, or why there is not more conversation. You know, I have railed against their executive sessions, So this is something that I think you'll find most interesting this afternoon at 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock tomorrow's show will be Anthony Price with Pathway House. He's going to join us, talk about trauma, what it really means to our to people that are suffering trauma, and why they can't get from point A to point B. That could go into what I was talking about by people that have a tough time when they lose somebody close to them. But it's all kinds of trauma that we sometimes don't put a harsh, not harsh, that we don't understand. We don't understand what people are going through, And we can become very judgmental as to what people are going through or why they're not doing this. Well, the same thing goes for trauma. we don't understand how something affected somebody, and how that you can't just solve it by, in the case of Pathway House, finding them a home, getting them a job, and saying, there you go, and handing them money and say, here you go, have a nice life. You really have to dig deep to get into the brain and be able to rewire the brain to feel differently about life. In the case of children, it has to do with feeling safe. This, too, on Thursday afternoon will be a fascinating conversation with Anthony Price of Pathway House. He is the executive director. That's on Thursday. This afternoon, as I said, County Council members Kathy Miller approached me about coming on the show to discuss some of the issues with County Council and make the people of Greenwood County aware of some of the things. So she is coming on along with Mark Allison. That will be at 5 o'clock this afternoon. So please tune in. Please stay tuned right here on WCRS. Anybody have any questions or comments from this morning's show? Always love to see what you're thinking about what I'm saying here. Oh, I was going to post some cute pictures of Penny, but I have not done it. Let's see. Do they have I don't know. Do they have American Legion? Do they have baseball tonight? I don't know. Last night they canceled the game because they didn't want to drive up from Columbia since it was anticipated rain. Let's see if I can see my list right here and see what is coming up tonight. Okay, I do not, here we go. Do I see it? Do we have a game tonight? Tonight, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 6/11. Anderson Post 20. They do have a game tonight. Trying to see it without it flipping here. It's kind of difficult. Anderson Wednesday. Post 20 seniors at 7 o'clock. But I seem to remember something being said they might. Oh, I think that's Thursday. They're going to start at 5 o'clock. But 6/11. They are going to play the Saluda Junior team will be here to play our group right here at the American Legion. Great fun, great entertainment. Get out there and enjoy a good old-fashioned baseball game at the American Legion. You will be glad you did. You will be glad you did. Let's go ahead and just check out some of the things that I know you want to know about. It is Wednesday after all. It is Hump Day. So this is, I wanted to make sure you knew about this. This afternoon, Wednesday, June 11th, at the Greenwood County Library System, Critter Keeper is here. That's right. There'll be a 96 from 10 to 11. They'll be here in Greenwood today at the library, 3:30 to 4:30. This is for all ages, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Get up close and personal with some amazing animals in this exciting show presented by the Critter Keeper. The Critter Keeper. Meet fascinating creatures from around the world as the Critter Keeper shares fun facts. So perfect for animal lovers of all ages. That is this afternoon from 3:30 to 4:30. I would recommend, if you would like to go to that, get there a little early so you'll get a spot, because that is always a favorite, So just wanted to make sure you knew about that. Also, another exciting event from Ruby Harlow is doing a International Food Truck Fest on June 21st. So that's a week or so, I guess, away. But I did want to mention that because anything Ruby Harlow does with her group is always exciting. That's going to be on the 21st on Oregon Avenue, Uptown Greenwood. Actually, the same place they had the other food trucks. from June 21st from 11 to 8, which is great because that means you can either go have lunch or go have dinner. They're going to let you cast your vote for your favorite truck and help decide which vendor takes home the title of Best International Food Truck. We're going to have to try to get Ruby on to talk about this. That'll be a good one too. Anything else I wanted to talk about? Yeah, Alan Wilson, states our Attorney General had put out yesterday that they will not take any bad acting coming up with any riots or anything like that. If that happens, particularly with June 14th right around the corner, bad actors will be prosecuted to the full extent of the law here in Greenwood. So that is something that is not going to be tolerated. Also, Council Member Robert Dean, they're going to be cleaning up Ward 2. That'll be this Saturday, June 14th from 9 to 11. Meet at Dunham Temple Church, 710 Gilliam Avenue. So that is going on. Is there anything else I really wanted to make sure that you knew about? This is an important meeting. Public meeting, Hurricane Helene Disaster Recovery Action Plan input for Greenwood County. They're having this is from the upcoming public meeting of the South Carolina Office of Resilience, is seeking public input in Greenwood County on the action plan for the state's community development. This will be at the Arts Center June 12th. That's from 6 to 8 p.m. Uptown Greenwood. Plan for the state's Community Development Block Grant, Disaster Recovery Program in response to Hurricane Helene, allocated by the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. Eligible activities under the draft plan include single-family home rehabilitation, replacement and reconstruction, affordable rental housing. This town hall meeting will be held on Thursday, June 12th from 6 to 8 p.m. at the Arts Center. SCOR team members will deliver a presentation of the draft action plan and will welcome comments and questions from attendees. Additionally, the South Carolina Office of Resilience Disaster Case Management Team will present to meet with citizens who have disaster-caused unmet needs and accept applications. So if you are still dealing from Hurricane Helene, this is a meeting you're going to want to be at. So just FYI, that is coming up this Thursday, June 12th from 6 to 8, Uptown Greenwood at the Arts Building. Also, next week, June 18th, 9 to 12 noon, they've got 500 more senior vouchers will be available. They'll be giving those out. That'll be June 18th from 9 to 12. 500 more vouchers will be available. That is huge. I'm not sure who sponsors those, but that is huge. So, and I do want to mention this. Friday, June 27th, so not this Friday, a week from this Friday, the groundbreaking ceremony for the Palmetto Innovation and Technology Center over there in Due West at 4 Carver Street Extension in Due West. The Due West Robotics groundbreaking ceremony will be opening. It says you are cordially invited to join us on June 27th for this ceremony. This will be a one-of-a-kind facility in South Carolina. Nothing else like it exists. And this is in Due West, South Carolina, folks. We got to do a big shout out to all that work with the Due West Robotics, but particularly Charles Angel. He truly has been an angel to the robotics group over there. It would never have existed to the extent, anything close to the dream that it has become. And with this ability to build a complete center, it is huge. The closest it says the closest comparable facilities are in Atlanta and Charlotte, North Carolina. Provides a great opportunity for STEM education for young people in the Lakelands, allowing them to develop skills for the future that can be applied to college or the trades. The Due West Robotics is the home of world-class robotics programs and will be expanding its capabilities when the Pitt Center is open to the community. I have got to see about getting Charles Angel on the air with us to talk about this. I think this is absolutely groundbreaking, and that's what they're going to have on June 27th, a groundbreaking over there in Due West. So make sure you check that out. So, anything else, Ann? The only other thing I know, and I'm not going to really talk about it today, so you'll have to tune in tomorrow, what's happening over there in Calhoun Falls. They are really effed up. I'm going to tell you what, I have no idea what's going to happen in that community, but they are really effed up. That's all I'm going to say. And with that, I'm going to say adieu. Penny's been real good this morning, but she's saying, come on, let's get out of here. Don't you think you've talked quite enough today? The answer is no. I'll be talking this afternoon with Kathy Miller, Councilwoman Kathy Miller, and Council person Mark Allison, 5 to 6 this afternoon. You are not, I repeat, you are not going to want to miss this. It is a really going to be a really, I think, big show. So please make sure that you tune in this afternoon, 5 to 6. Of course, you can listen on the radio or you can watch Facebook Live. Thanks so much, everybody, for tuning in. That's going to do it for me. This is WCRS Radio. Penny says, time to go, Mom. And I say, it's time to go, and have a great day. Bye-bye, everybody. That's it. That's a wrap. Let's see if I can play some music as we get out of here. Yes, I can do it. Take it away right now.